welcome to Bottoms Down, chair yoga for everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you've joined us today. So you've made it. It's day 9 of our 28-day chair yoga journey. We're going to start seated. We'll move into a standing position for mountain pose and triangle pose. Then we'll move back to seated. Now we're going to be using a block today. And remember, if you don't have a block, you can substitute a big book. And if you don't have that either, it's fine. Just do the practice without it, okay? Now, one thing you can do if you like is you can place that block back behind you on the seat. So we're going to go ahead and move a little bit forward, but if you want to, you can lean back on that block and it just still lets you sit up nice and tall. And so that's just an option. If you don't want to do that, that's fine too. All right, so again, we're gonna sit, I'm gonna move just a little, yeah, sit up nice and tall, right? So let's go ahead and take a moment to connect. We're gonna connect that mind and that body and that breath, right? So getting our feet connected to the earth, grounding those feet, thinking about grounding those sits bones. So we already start with that connection, right? Let's lift that heart, lower the shoulders out of the ears, placing the hands lightly on the thighs. Flip the palms up, close your eyes, and then just connect to your heart center. Letting go of everything outside of the room. Just feeling your natural inhalation and exhalation. Now let's begin to elongate the breath, inhaling a little more deeply, exhaling a little more completely. And do that again. Just a couple more times. And breathe normally. Bring your hands to your heart. Set your intentions for today's practice. Just one more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. So we're going to bring our arms down by our side, and then we're just going to lift our shoulders up into our ears. And then we're going to drop. Let's do that again. Lift those shoulders up into the ears and let them drop. One more time. Lift those shoulders up and let them drop. That should feel really good. Okay, so we're going to drop our right ear towards our right shoulder. Now, I want you to reach up with the right hand, and you're just going to lay the hand on the head. You're not going to pull or tug. It's just, kind of laying it there for a little weight. Now the opposite arm is going to extend out, flexing through the wrist, pushing through the palm. Oh yeah, one more breath. Let's bring the hand down first, then take the hand off of the head and then lift that head up. How does that feel? Let's go to the other side. So we're going to let that left ear fall towards that left shoulder first. Just hang out here for a couple of breaths, feeling that natural range of motion here. And then we're going to lift that hand up and just lay it lightly on that head. We're not pulling, we're not tugging. We're just letting the weight give us a little extra. Opposite arm is going to extend, flexing through the wrist, pushing through the palm. One more breath here. Let's bring that hand down. Take the hand off of the head and lift that head up. Oh my goodness, how does that feel? Just a little movement in that neck, right? Whatever natural movement you want to do. Should feel pretty good. Okay, coming into mountain pose. Bring those arms down by your side. Spread those fingers nice and wide to stretch those hands. Come up into that goalpost arm, squeezing those shoulder blades back behind you. Hands lengthening up towards the ceiling, pulling the shoulders down, trying to touch the ceiling with those fingertips. One more breath. Bring the hands down. We're going to do that one more time. Mountain pose. Down we go. Spread. Goalpost arms. Squeeze. Lengthen those arms to the ceiling. Make sure the shoulders are down out of the ears. Try to touch the ceiling with those fingertips. 3, 2, and 1. And release. Really, really good. Okay, so moving into our cat and our cow pose, we're going to reach back and grab the back of that chair, lifting up. So I want you to think about lifting up through the throat, right? So nice open throat, openness in the chest. We're grabbing the back of that chair. We're squeezing our shoulder blades back behind us. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, come down into your cat pose. Hands on the thighs, tuck the chin, let the head fall. Now, if you have your block behind you, you can push your back into that block. Now, we're going to lift up into cow pose again. Inhale in here. And exhale into cat pose. Push that back into that block, tucking that chin, letting that head fall. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. And release. Very good. Okay, so we're going to move a little bit further forward in our chair. So you can leave that block right where it is. You can set it on the floor if you prefer. It's fine. All right, so we're going to do a heel and a toe and a heel and a toe. Now, your hands are going to be on those thighs, okay? So let's check in with that alignment, hip, knee, ankle, toe, right? So we want everything in alignment. Knees are not folding in. Knees are wide. Hands are on the thighs where we can begin to let our heart fall forward, okay? So holding onto those thighs, giving yourself a little support. Pull your belly in nice and tight. Now, we're going to drop our right shoulder between our legs. You feel the stretch there on that upper shoulder and back, upper arm, right? I even get a little bit into the upper back. It feels pretty good. And up we go. And then we're going to do the other side. And then up we go. Okay, so let's take just a moment. Now we're going to do that again, and let's add the breath. See how if we can connect that breath in with that movement, all right? Nice, conscious, remember, keep the mind involved. We want to keep everything, that mindfulness, if you will, nice long spine, hands on those thighs. Inhale, exhale, we're going to let that heart fall forward. Inhale, exhale, let that left shoulder fall. Inhale up. Exhale, other shoulder falls. Inhale up. Exhale, shoulder falls. One more. And remember, if using the yoga breath makes you dizzy, leave it out. Just breathe naturally. It's okay. Right? So we don't ever want to do anything to create any discomfort. And up we go. All right, all the way up. So if that goes true anytime we're using the breath, right? If that just really doesn't work for you, or you're beginning to feel lightheaded or whatever, just breathe normally. Leave it out. It's okay. Just don't hold your breath. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring those feet in. Just taking a little break here. I should have done that while I was talking, shouldn't I? Sorry. Okay, so the next pose is called Malasana, Garland pose. So we're going to take those feet back wide again, all right? So let's do this again. So a heel toe and a heel toe. Now, it's probably not quite as wide as we did just a minute ago, so don't feel like you've got to get those feet just as wide as you can. And you'll see why here in just a second. All right, we've got our hands on those thighs. We're going to let that heart fall forward again. So keeping the back flat, right? So we're looking out, not down. Now, I'm going to put the fleshy part of my arm right in here on the fleshy part of that inner thigh, and then the other side, and then I'm going to bring my palms together. So the idea here is a yin-yang kind of thing, right? I'm going to push in with my legs and I'm going to push out with my arms, all right? So feeling that pressure, pressing in with my legs, pressing out with my arms, We have one more breath here. Let's release that. Come up and just take those legs in for a moment. Does that feel okay? Can we do that again? Let's do it. Okay, we're going to do a heel toe out. We're going to hinge forward. Bring our elbows to the inside of those knees. Palms are facing together. Squeeze the inner thighs in. Pressing the arms away. Activating inner and outer thighs is what you should be feeling. One more breath here. And release. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and bring those feet in. Okay, so now we're going to move into seated triangle. And we're actually going to use our block now. You're like, well, we haven't used our block yet. We're going to use our block in this one. But we're not going to use it to begin with. We're going to start without it, and then we're going to add it in. So with your right leg, we're going to do a heel toe and a heel toe. Okay, so now we've got that alignment, right? We kind of got that down. We know we need to make sure that that's in alignment. This leg stays right where it is. We're going to bring our arms up, kind of those warrior two arms. We haven't really talked about that yet. We will. Okay, so my arms are parallel to the floor, all right? So often what I'll see in my in-person classes is maybe this or maybe that. So just take a moment to really get those arms in alignment with the parallel to the floor, and then I want you to think about pulling your shoulders down. So often we end up here, right? So we're going to pull those shoulders down. Our belly is tight. Now, moving only at the rib cage, the upper body is going to move towards this knee that we've extended out. So here's a version of triangle pose right here. And then we're going to bring those ribs in center. And let's do that again. So we're really trying to disconnect the upper body and the lower body. So the lower body is staying stable. It's not moving. And then the upper body is moving. Let's do that one more time. You feeling it? Can you feel how the upper body only is moving? And center. Let's bring those arms down. Let's bring that foot in. So now we're going to do the other side, okay? So we're going to take this left leg and we'll do a heel toe and a heel toe. So again, check on that alignment. This leg stays right where it is. Bring those arms out. So think about squeezing your muscles against the bones in the arm. So if I came up to you and I tried to pull your arm down, I wouldn't be able to. So I want you to activate those arms, right? So it's a very active pose. Even though we're static, we're just hanging out here, it's still a very active pose, right? Okay, are we ready? Just the ribs. Out we go. And center. Let's do that again. Rib cage only. Remember, upper body is separate from the lower body. And center. We have one more just like that. And center we go. Bring the arms down. And bring that foot in. Okay, so checking in, how did that feel? So that's a great version, and that if you want to stick with that version, you're going to stick with that version. Now, if you're with me, I'm going to grab my block, and I'm going to set it here. So you'll see here in a moment. Let's go ahead and heel toe this foot out. Okay. Now my block is right here by my foot. Okay. We're going to bring those arms up. Now, we're going to breathe. That upper body is moving, and then I'm going to bring that hand down to the block. Okay. So what do I do if I don't have a block? You're going to hold. Either you can have your hand on your leg, or you can just have it down by the side. Okay. So if you want to have it on the block, that's great. If you don't have that block, it can be down, or it can be on your leg. Okay. All right. Are we ready? We're going to come back up. And then we're going to bring those ribs center. And we're going to bring the arms down. Okay? So we're going to do that one more time, just like that. Ready? Here we go. Up. Ribs. Hand comes down. Beautiful triangle pose. Now here's the thing about triangle pose. Often you'll kind of want to let your heart sink forward. See how I'm kind of letting that shoulder fall down? So I don't want you to do that. I want you to lift up. So now I'm making my side waist muscles work here, right? I'm lifting up. So I've got an alignment of wrist, shoulder, shoulder, and wrist. How's that feel? One more breath here. Let's come up. Notice how my ribs are still to the side. Let's come center and down. Okay, bring that foot in. We're going to do the other side now. So this hand is going to be, the block is going to be out here. So let's do a heel toe and a heel toe. Okay, so get that all set. Bring those arms up. Okay, are we squeezing? Do we have those upper arms? Are we squeezing? Okay, are we ready? Now, let's just bring the ribs out. Now, you're going to just kind of tilt forward. Maybe the hand comes to the block. Lifting up through the chest. Maybe you look up if that feels okay on your neck. If you don't have the block, your hand is on the leg or it's just hanging out on the side. One more breath. Come up. Bring those ribs in. Bring the hands back to the heart. Back to the legs, to your lap. And we're going to do that again. Let's do it. Bring it up. Squeeze. We got this. Ribs only. And down we go. Lifting up. Now, one thing you can do if you want is you can put this hand right here on the waist. Lift your heart, right? Making sure that heart stays lifted, and then you can add that arm. Let's come back up. And in we go. And hands come down. All right, very, very good. Now just set your block aside if you have it. We're going to come back to it in just a moment. But now we're going to come to standing, all right, on the right side of our chair. So let's all come up to standing, and we're going to come here to the right side of the chair. I'm just going to go ahead and set my block in the seat of my chair, kind of get it out of my way. All right. So we're going to start with our feet hip distance apart. So this means that as you look down, you're in alignment, right? Your hips are right in alignment with those legs. We're going to come into that mountain pose. So bring those arms down by your side, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Come back to those goalpost arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades. All right, now we're going to extend our mountain pose, fingertips to the ceiling. With your right hand, I want you to grab your left wrist and lean. Lengthen up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to lean our mountain. And then we're going to come up and we're going to grab the opposite wrist, lengthen and lean our mountain. And up we go. Now let's release. And we're going to do that again, and we're going to add a twist, okay? So mountain pose, spread your fingers. Goalpost arms, squeeze those shoulder blades back behind you. Belly is tight. Lengthen up. Right hand is going to grab left wrist, lengthen. Let's lean our mountain. Now I want you to turn and look up at the ceiling. Take the twist out. Come up. Grab the opposite wrist, lengthen first up to the ceiling, lean, and then we're going to twist and look up. Take the twist out, come back up, and release that. Okay, how's that feel? Pretty good? I'm just rolling my shoulders a little bit because that feels good. So we're going to move into a standing triangle pose. Now, we will be using the block. Again, if you don't have the block, you're just going to use your leg or the seat of the chair. Okay, so I'll show you. So we're going to turn now. We're going to face the seat of our chair. Now, we're going to take this leg that's next to the chair, and you're going to step it under, just slightly under the seat of the chair. Opposite leg is going to step back. Hips come forward. So my hips are around facing the seat of the chair. Okay? See how that feels. All right. Really, really good. Now, holding onto that chair, we're going to turn so that our hips are facing forward. Front knee is straight. Does that make sense? Kind of. So the back foot is back at that 45-degree angle. The front leg is straight, and we're going to bring those arms up. Nice. Okay, We're going to hinge over. And then we're going to bring our hand down. Maybe you've got the block in the seat of the chair. That's a great option, right? The hand is there on the seat of the chair. There's a beautiful triangle pose. Now, if you'll notice, my wrist, shoulder, shoulder, wrist are in alignment here. If you don't have the block, your hand's going to be in the seat of the chair, okay? All right, we're going to come up, and then we're going to bring those ribs centered, and we're going to bring the hands down, okay? We're going to do that one more time. All right, here we go. Up we go. Squeeze the muscles against the bones in the arms, activating that upper body. Upper body moves over that chair. The hand drops down to the seat of the chair or the block. Open, nice and open, feeling that inner thigh stretching. One more breath. Come back up, center, and release. Okay, let's take a little break here. So we'll go to the other side. So we have one more thing to add to that triangle pose, but let's go ahead and start here and do the other side. So I've moved to the other side of my chair. Remember, I'm going to start, I just kind of want to get those hips around, kind of feeling that front leg straight. Then I'm going to move those hips out to face me. Bring the arms up. Okay, so front leg is straight. Now, as my ribs come forward, do you notice how this hip is kind of hiking up a little bit? Then I'm going to bring my hands down. If I've got my block, they're going to be on that block. I'm lifting up. So this is a pretty decent stretch on that inner thigh. You feel it? Okay, keep the front leg straight. I know you want to bend it. Keep it straight. Come back center, and then those ribs come center. Let's do that one more time. Ribs come over the chair. Drop the hand down, lifting up. One more breath here. We're going to press up, bring the rib center, and down we go. All right. How did that feel? There is more to that triangle pose, but for today, we're going to leave it at that, and then maybe another day we'll add a couple more things to that triangle pose. But I want to start there. All right. Very, very good. So now the next thing we're going to do, and I'm going to just kind of set my block aside for now and get it out of my way. So now the next thing we're going to do is a downward facing dog. We're going to start with our downward facing puppy. So what I want to make sure is that your chair is on carpet or it's on a sticky mat, like a yoga mat, something that's going to keep that chair from sliding. Okay, so we don't want the chair moving. And so the other thing to think about is I want you to think about pressing down, not out. Okay? So the first thing we'll do is I'm going to turn my chair to the side. You stay facing me. You're behind your chair. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a step back from my chair. My hands are on the chair. See how long my arms are, right? And then I'm going to hinge. I'm hinging at the hips, so I'm not bending at the waist, right? I'm hinging at the hips. My arms are on that chair. Now, as I'm coming into my down dog, I'm going to take one more step back, and I'm going to begin to let my heart fall forward. Okay, so my heart is falling between my arms, and I'm just letting my upper body sink. I'm shooting my hips back behind me. My head is forward. And I have one more breath here. And let's go ahead and roll it up into a standing position. Okay. So that is version 1 of your down dog, and it's a great version. Okay. So let's do that one more time. Let's go ahead and step back. So what I like to do is begin to let my heart fall forward. See how my elbows now are bending? So I want to go ahead and take one more little step back so that my arms are nice and straight. Let that heart fall forward. Make sure my hips are back. I have one more breath here. Belly is super tight as I come up to a standing position. Take a step forward. Okay, so that's a great version, and I would encourage you that feels good for you, stick with it. If you want to come with me, we're going to move into using the side of our chair. So let's go ahead and move to the side of our chair now. So you'll see the difference pretty quickly, all right? So you'll see if you feel like sticking with this one or if you want to go back to your hands behind the chair. So let's take a little step back, okay? Now we're going to hinge. Again, you're hinging at the hips, not the waist. Hinge at the hips. We're going to bring our hands to the seat of the chair and bring your weight forward, okay? Now we're going to start in puppy. And the reason we do that is it's going to give us a good stretch in the back, but it takes out the stress on the wrists, okay? So let's go ahead and bring our forearms down onto the chair, okay? Now, the idea here is you want your hips to go up high and your heart to go back towards your thighs, okay? So see what's happening here? I'm pressing my heart back and my hips up. So I have one more breath here. Let's go ahead and come up, step forward, take a little break, roll up into a standing position. So how did that feel? Okay. So checking in, I know it's a pretty good stretch for the hamstrings. That's what it's for, right? It's the back side, no, the whole back side of the body. It's not just hamstrings, but I feel it a lot in my hamstrings. So one thing you can do, if it's really like, okay, this is just too much for me, is bend the knees a little, and that's okay, right? All right, so let's try that again, just like that, and then we're going to add one final thing on. All right, so I'm taking a little step back, right? I'm going to hinge here at my hips. I'm going to place my hands in the chair. I'm going to bring my weight forward. Now, I'm going to lower onto my forearms, but I want to keep my shoulders right over those elbows, okay? So I've got this alignment happening. Now, I'm going to take a little step back. And as I begin to press my heart back, my hips high, and if you want to bend the knees a little, bend the knees a little. Feeling the stretch in the back side of the body. I feel the stretch in the arms, the shoulders. This is such a nice one. Downward facing puppy. One more breath here, and then let's come up. Okay, step forward. Step forward, roll up nice and slow. Okay, now here's the thing. If having your head down is making you dizzy, what I want you to do is not let the head fall as far. So the head will end up staying above the heart, okay? And that's fine too. Now, the final piece of this is instead of being on our forearms for downward facing puppy, we're going to be on our hands for downward facing dog. And you'll feel the difference. So only if it works for you. So let's go ahead and take one step back to start with. We're going to place our hands in the seat of the chair and bring our weight forward. Now I'm going to take another pretty good size step back. Now do you feel where the chair could be sliding, right? It won't for long. So now we're going to press the hips up, shoot the hips up high, heart back, feeling that stretch. Now, if you want to take another little step back, I'm going to take another step back and I'm going to get my heart even lower. There we go. So for me, this feels good. This is a good downward facing dog for me. I want you to do what works for your body, feeling that stretch in the back side of the legs, the back side of the body. Hips are high, heart is back. We've got 3 and 2. And 1. Now listen, as you come up, take a step forward, hold that chair. Roll it up nice and slow. How did that feel? Good work, you guys. Okay, let's come to seated. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. Just take a little breath here, right? So we're going to move into crescent lunge. We're going to take that right knee and we're going to open it nice and wide, and we're going to let our left knee fall down towards the floor. Pushing the foot back behind you a little bit, relaxing this glute, feeling the stretch in the front side of that leg. Let's release that, and we're going to do that again. Back of the kneecap towards the ceiling, facing forward. And face forward. Well, I said facing forward, I meant forward that way. Now we're going to face forward this way towards me. I need to be a little clearer with my cues, don't I? All right. Let's lengthen through the spine on an inhale. Exhale, we're going to let that heart fall forward, pyramid pose. Keep the back flat. Looking beyond the toes. Tuck the chin and roll it up. And let's do that again. Nice long spine. Let that heart fall forward. Oh, that feels so good. And up we go. Let's do the other side. Here we go. Open it up nice and wide. Let that knee fall down towards, I don't know why I'm singing. Let that knee fall down towards the mat. Looking over this front leg. I'll cue that a little bit better. Belly tight. Let's release, and let's do that one more time. So kind of pushing the back of the kneecap towards the ceiling a little bit there. Feeling that stretch, right? One more breath. And release. We got to do our pyramid pose. So let's extend that leg out. Lengthen through the spine. Let the heart fall forward. Keep the back flat. Look beyond your toes. And let's come up. We'll add that breath. Inhale to extend. Exhale to hinge forward. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale forward. And up we go. Very good. Let's go ahead and move into Savasana pose. So leaning back, hands resting lightly on the thighs. Flip the palms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Let's inhale here. And as you exhale, go ahead and close your eyes.
Live at your highest level. Right now, allow strength to surge within you. Notice the power of confidence as it rises from deep inside and bursts through all your awareness. Feel enthusiasm gathering within and aiming you toward your best possibilities. Be energized by the courage that steadily streams out from your most profound purpose. Ride upon the newness of this moment as the miracle of life pervades your whole existence. Invigorate your most honest thoughts and transform them into valuable action. All the while, project a sincere and peaceful presence in what you do and in who you are. Engage in life with an endless reservoir of kindness and understanding. Embrace every opportunity for joy. Marvel at the beauty and wonder that surrounds you all the time. Let it all unfold naturally, generously, without worry or desperation. Give life your best and live at your highest level.
Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug, pressing that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with your hands. Give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach up with the left hand. Give the head a gentle tug, pressing that opposite hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. Very well done. We've made it to the end of day 9. Would you not agree that the hardest part is just getting to your chair? Once we're here, isn't it a lovely practice? I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you keep showing up. Click the subscribe button, leave me a comment, and I'll see you tomorrow.